Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. We got a great show in store for you. We got a lot of guests here, and it's going to be sharing all kinds of information. So please, if you can do anything, stay tuned. If you can't catch the show this morning, check us out at 2 and 8 every day right here on Access Chautauqua on channel 1301. Want to say good morning to all of you that are watching live. We're streaming around the world right now as we speak. And as always, we always want to encourage you to drop us a little note on our Facebook page. Some of you are doing it. So thanks for dropping us notes. We now have a world map that we're putting pins in, and we got a Chautauqua County map. So we've got Mike from Portland, Mary from Sherman, Bonnie from Ripley. We've got Dan over in Bemis Point. We got people from Kendra and Karen from Westfield. And so we're sticking pins into our county map as people start checking in with us. So we really love it that you're spending time with us throughout the show. I also want to remind you that you are listening to us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So I want to say good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people. Thanks for joining us. The people that are going to be on the show today, maybe you've run into throughout the years, the streets of Jamestown or in your own dealings. So as I said, please stay tuned. Let's see, what else I want to tell you? I want to tell you that as many of you know, Fredonia got that really cool award for the Business Revolution, and now it's the Comedy Center's turn. And so I am encouraging all of you out there to go to the Comedy Center website, which is really simple. It's comedycenter.org, okay, comedycenter.org. Go there, and there's a little thing, a button. You click to vote, and we're voting for them to be the #1 attraction in the United States. And right now, from what I'm told, they're leading the pack, and let's support them as we did Fredonia. Every time we support each other, we lift the whole county together. So that's important to remember. All right, let's see, what else do I got? Right now, we kind of came out of the dark part of winter. We're getting into February, and there's a lot of things starting to percolate in the county, and we'll talk about a few of those. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Justin, you got your Valentine's all written out? Oh. No, not yet. No, my crew's looking at me like, not yet. You know, not yet, no? Okay. Not at all. Okay. Anyways, but one thing I do want to point out, and I like to plug my underwriters, they're the folks that you see at the beginning of the show. Meter's Restaurant is having special dinners on Friday and Saturday of this week, on Valentine's Day and the next day. And they have a very special menu that they did last year as well as this year. And one fabulous musician will be performing there. Did anybody happen to know who that might be? I'll be there. I'll be there playing some easy listening music from 5 to 8 both evenings, so it should be a lot of fun. So let me see if I got all my other notes here. All right, remember, if you are interested in whatever we're talking about here, if you have a comment or question for my guest, number one, got to be nice and be civil. Number two, the number is 716-753-5225. So you can call anywhere in the world to talk to my guest. And we got a great guy at the other end of the phone line, Randy. He takes your calls and he'll pump you through our speaker on the wall, and we'll have a nice chat. So don't hesitate to call. If you don't have a question for any of us, and you do have an announcement that you want to make for your club or organization, your spaghetti dinner, your pancake breakfast, a fundraiser, whatever, anniversary, a birthday, whatever, doesn't matter. It's free. Call in, put you on the air, and we'll be happy to share that with the rest of the world. Okay, I have a few announcements because I do want to get to our guests because we got a lot to talk about today. So here we go. Not too many. You guys are slipping on me. Usually I have about a dozen pages. I only have 5 today, so please send them in, send them to our website, send them to me, whatever. We'll get them on the air. All right, we're going to start out with slide 15, Jeff. Pasta for a Purpose. Okay, it's going to be held February 14th. That'll be Valentine's Day, from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Chautauqua Suites. Tickets are $40. Each ticket offers a chance for the grand prize. This includes an Italian dinner, wine, DJ, photo booth, basket raffle, and auction. It says action, but I'm assuming that it's auction. Proceeds assist children to receive mental health counseling that they would not be able to afford, and that's really important in this county. Family Service of the Chautauqua region is the sponsor of this event, and for more information, give me a call at 488-1971 or 1971. Okay, I mentioned that things are starting to percolate again in the county. It's like waking up out of a deep sleep. Mayville Winter Festival. Let me read this to you. This is really a lot going on. Okay, that's right here in Mayville. They have a snow castle. What's a snow castle? It's an igloo. All right, they pushed a bunch of snow together and they made a castle. I'm getting all this information in my ear. I'm not making this up as I go. Well, not usually. All right, this is what it says about the Winter Festival here in Mayville. February 14th to the 16th, all next weekend. The holidays may be over, but one of the best events of the winter is yet to come. The President's Day Weekend Winter Festival is February 14th through the 16th at the Lakeside Park in Mayville. This spectacular event celebrates our wonderful winter season here in Chautauqua County. It features construction of a large snow castle, it says ice castle, but Jeff tells me snow castle, at the shore of Chautauqua Lake, weather permitting, at 6 p.m., February 14th, followed by the Queen of Hearts Ice Ball under the Big Tent from 6:30 to 9:30. Throughout the weekend, there will be activities, games, crafts, vendors, and a beer and wine tent, carriage rides, ice hockey, and an ice fishing contest. That can't be right. The lake's not frozen, Jeff, is it? 5 inches in Mayville. Well, they'll let you know if you can ice fish there. A snowball contest, I think we're good there. A chili cook-off, music, the polar plunge to benefit pantries in Western New York, a 5K run by Chautauqua Striders, and an amazing fireworks display, and much more. I guess they're still looking for volunteers. If you're interested, give Jacqueline Sasso a call at the Mayville Chautauqua Community Chamber at 366-6200. Okay, 366-6200. Okay, now this is the first time I'm reading this one. And this is always fun because it's Rolling Hills Radio. And if any of you guys follow what I have to read for Rolling Hills Radio, it's wordy. So here we go. I'm not sure who writes these releases, but I think Ken Harley has something to do with it. All right, slide 16. Here we go, Jeff. John Gorka, all right, is a world-renowned singer-songwriter who first got attention as the winner of the coveted New Folk Award at the Kerrville Folk Festival in 1984. From there, his career took off. He became one of the leading lights of what is now referred to as the New Folk movement, with its beginnings in the 1980s. He has toured and in support of Nancy Griffith, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Kathy Mattea, as well as having such guests as Leo Kottke and Fairpoint Convention on his albums. Having released about 24 albums, Gorka is noted not only as one of the finest songwriters in Americana music, with his introspective and moving songs, but his rich baritone voice is uniquely recognizable and evocative. See what I mean? Wow. According to the host, executive producer Ken Hartley, John Gorka is an artist like Ramblin' Jack Elliott or Daryl Scott, to whom we need to devote an entire show. His legacy, his art, his stage presence, his ability to entertain, all demand that he has the stage to himself. Gorka is also going to play a mini concert after the recorded part of the show for the live audience only. He will be joined by recording artist Amelia Spicer for the night, a formidable singer-songwriter in her own right. As for Hartley, he will be joined on stage with cellist Mandy Andrews for the opening tune. Rolling Hills listener Cheryl Rich summed it up. John Gorka is a songwriter. Jamestown and Western New York are lucky to have the Rolling Hills radio show bringing John Gorka and other truly great musicians to this area. All Rolling Hills radio regular season shows take place at Shawbucks, across from the Jamestown Ice Arena. Doors open to all those holding or purchasing tickets at 5:30 for the Rolling Happy Hour. Food and drink are available until 6:15, at which time the audience members take their seats and the house lights are dimmed. Audio and video recording begins promptly at 6:30. The bar reopens for 10 minutes at intermission, and then again after the show when the audience and performers are invited to a meet and greet, which, as I've mentioned before, is a really lot of fun that you can actually talk with these folks, shake hands, and ask them questions about their music or their careers. Tickets are $25, and if you're interested, give them a call at 294-0416 for tickets, or go online to rollinghillsradio.org/tickets. This project is made possible with funds from the Decentralization Program, a re-grant program of the New York State Council on the Arts with the support of Governor Andrew Cuomo. Okay, so that's coming up. Sounds like a lot of fun. Let's keep on going. Sassy Bags and Beyond Blingo. Here we go. It's going to be held Wednesday, February 26th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Blingo starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are only $20, but I got to remind you, there's only 200 available. 12 Blingo games, handbags for each game winner. Raffle tickets are available, including a chance for spa and salon services. This is sponsored by the Resource Center. And if you want more information, give them a call at 661-1477. And two more quick ones. There's a free parenting program coming up on March 19th, 26th, March 4th, and 11th. So it's like a series. They're 2-hour sessions. And from the Mental Health Association at 31 Water Street, door 14, Suite 7, Gateway Center in Jamestown. It's a program for parents of children birth 5 years of age through 5 years of age, offered free of charge through the United Way of Southern Chautauqua County. You know, not everybody got the book when you had your first baby or two, and this wouldn't be a bad idea if you're a new parent to check this out, because sometimes we goof things up. Build a strong foundation for your children. Your child's first years are so important. Learn how to make the most of them with active parenting. First 5 years, that's the name of the program. In this program, you'll learn the best ways to nurture your child from birth to pre-K with a just right combination of freedom and nonviolent discipline. Give your kids a strong start. And this is what you're going to learn. What a baby's cry means. Ages and stages of development. Building a strong bond. Your child's growing brain. Using mindfulness to keep your cool, effective discipline that young children can understand. That's important. Choices and consequences. 6 ways to prepare your child for school and success, and a whole lot more. So it really sounds like a lot of fun, and you're going to be dealing with Kathy Colby over there. She's a director of training. If you're interested, give her a call at 664-3608. Finally, just to remind you, Prevention Works here in the county is holding its 19th annual poster contest. It's open to all students in grades 3 through 12. And it's the Alcohol Awareness Month poster contest, and the theme this year is Prevention Works. So I'm sure most of the school folks already know about that. So if your son or daughter is talking about it, or you can encourage them to participate, good thing. All right, we're going to take a breather, and we're going to be right back with my guests who are anxiously waiting to come on the camera here. So this is for you. We'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Okay, we're back. For those of you just joining us, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and I've got 4 guests that are anxiously to talk to you about a lot of cool things here in Chautauqua County. Let me just frame the topic a little bit. Over the last few years, Steve Watterson has been on my show, and he's been talking about the Resource Center. And back when I was working in the field, it used to be called, what was it called? The Resource Center, not the Resource, ARC. ARC? What was it called? Well, anyways, it was called something different. Anyways, I'll think of it in a minute. Oh, Association for Retarded Children, ARC. And when I was a special ed teacher, we worked very closely with the ARC. At the time, now it's the Resource Center, TRC. And many of my colleagues worked there, and we would share services with the children that we worked with, children with disabilities and so forth. I remember very early on when it was down, I think it was on 3rd and 4th near the high school, it was a little tiny workshop, and the students, they were young adults at that point, were doing some basic vocational skills and so forth, and it went from that little place to the huge facility and agency that it's become now throughout the county. So I want to welcome the crew here today that's come in, and we're going to be talking specifically about the community health center that the Resource Center provides. So I want to welcome, I'm just going to go right down the line real quick. I want to welcome Steve and Lisa and Nicole and Dan, right? Did I get all the first names right? All right. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I asked you earlier that are you stationed just in Jamestown, but from my understanding, you're countywide.
We are.
Yes.
Okay. So Steve Riczker, you were volunteered somehow. I don't know. I think they took a vote or straws or the shortest pen or something, and you were voted to be the first one to talk with me today. So Steve, good morning, and what's your role?
I'm the practice manager for the medical services programs, which includes primary care and school-based health.
Okay. Practice manager, that's a foreign term for me. I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm responsible for all of the operations of the program, managing the clinical team, managing the patient care, essentially, making sure that the patients are satisfied with the services, smooth operation of the program, pretty much soup to nuts.
Okay, so would this be equivalent to like a hospital administrator?
On a smaller scale.
Okay,
Sure.
So in other words, you're not doing any medical procedures yourself.
I'm not a practitioner. No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You're more
Strictly management.
Management. Okay,
Right.
That I can kind of
Yeah,
understand.
I've been in human services and healthcare for close to 40 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. And has that all been here in Chautauqua County?
Most of it has been actually with the Resource Center.
Okay.
is where
So
the community-
did you grow up thinking that you were going to be a practice manager?
Not specifically, no. No. But
How do you get into that?
Well, my involvement with the Resource Center started when I was about 10 years old, and I won't get into the
Sure.
long story, but I did some volunteer work with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love with that line of work,
Mm-hmm.
and so I became a direct care aide in one of the group homes.
Okay.
That was my first job here, and I've been here for about 38 years.
Mm-hmm. I bet you've worked with a lot of my old students. We'll have to talk names later.
I'd love to, yeah.
Okay, so so What facilities do you supervise? Or
Well, the community health center has a couple of different facilities,
Okay.
but the one where I work in particular is at 880 East 2nd Street.
okay,
Some people remember it as the Caprino Furniture Building. And I remember it when it was the Caprino Furniture Building with the spotlight on the top. And I kind of wish we had that spotlight.
remember I told you about microphones?
I do remember. and I
you can just
I
hold on
killed
to it for right now.
All right, we'll just hang on to
Just
it.
hang on. I do this all the time. It's
That's
okay.
all right.
In fact, I thought it was mine.
No. So yeah, we're right at 2nd Street, and actually we each have some presence there. Dan is at a little bit different location, but at some point we may get him over to 2nd Street as well. So it's a kind of a collaborative care model. We are co-located, and that makes it a lot easier for the patients who come to see us.
Okay.
So it's a one-stop facility.
Okay, we're going to dig deep into that in a little bit. So I'll let you get your mic back on, and let's move on to Lisa. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Doc.
And Lisa, what's your role?
I'm the practice manager of the dental, so I oversee dental at the Jamestown Clinic on 2nd Street and in Dunkirk.
Oh, and where's that in Dunkirk?
Lakeshore Drive,
Okay. Oh, yes, I know where you mean, on Route 5.
yes.
Okay, and that's been there quite a while now.
Yes.
I remember when that was put together, and it looks really sharp there. I actually have had the opportunity to tour that facility. It's been some time, but very nice. All right, so 2 dental sites, all right? And is this a rotating group, or is it dedicated staff to both centers?
Dedicated staff.
Okay. So Steve told me he's sort of like this administrator over this medical practice. So what do you do?
Over dental, same sort of structure.
Okay. And how long have you been with the Resource Center?
Less than a year.
Oh, you're the newbie. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe somebody else is doing it. I don't know. Oh, we do have somebody. Okay. So we'll come back to you. So we're just going to kind of get everybody acquainted. Nicole, you're next. Okay. What's your role?
So I am the Director of Behavioral Health Services and Care Coordination.
Whoa. Behavior, what?
Behavioral Health Services and Care Coordination.
All right. Let's hear what that's all about.
Yeah, so I oversee quite a few programs, both in the Jamestown and the Dunkirk location. We have counseling and psychiatric services, or outpatient counseling. In our outpatient clinic, we also have medication-assisted treatment, as well as telepsychiatry. We also have a PROS, Personalized Recovery-Oriented Services program. It's similar to a day program, runs Monday through Friday. That's a more intensive program where individuals can come and stay all day, those 5 days a week. That's also in both locations, Jamestown and Dunkirk. And then we have our Health Homes Care Coordination program that runs for both adults and children. And we have behavioral health home and community-based services, so we are going out into the community and working with individuals. And then we also function in the school-based health centers at Jamestown High School and the Success Academy. So
How long have you been with the Resource Center?
almost a year.
Oh, you're a newbie too.
Yes.
and you have some new news for your family.
Yes, we just had a baby.
How long ago?
About 2 months ago,
Okay.
in November. Yes.
Cool name too.
Thank you. Yes, her name's Magnolia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a little boy at home?
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 2.
Oh.
His name's Cougar.
So shout out to Cougar.
Yes.
And does he represent his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we'll get back to you on that. So I'm taking a few notes here, and Dan, you're next.
Okay, I'm the practice manager for health-related services at the Resource Center, which basically encapsulates there's occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy, and we have 2 locations. So I'm, I guess, a standalone at Jones and Gifford at the moment, 75 Jones and Gifford Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
We have a clinic there, and then one at Lakeshore Drive as well.
Okay. Thank you. How long have you been? You said less than a year?
4 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot! So you really are the senior. I know why they put you on first.
Yeah. Of course, I'm the guy
Okay.
who knocked his mic off.
I told you. I usually do that. I usually step on it. Okay. So here I talked a little bit about teeny tiny little, my glimpses of the Resource Center and when it was the ARC and so forth. But since you're the senior member here, Steve, for my listening audience, for those that are from out of state, what is the Resource Center and what's the mission? In your own words, it doesn't have to be whatever's on
Sure,
the wall
yeah,
or whatever.
well, right. Well, the Resource Center it started out as an agency that was providing services to the disabled population primarily. As you mentioned, we had a workshop
Yep.
kind of across from the post
My
office.
buddy Jim DePonso used to run it.
Absolutely, and I remember those days. But it's really grown into something that's pretty fantastic.
It is.
We no longer only serve the disabled. In fact, the services that we all operate, the Community Health Center, is open to the public. We accept all insurances. We take people who don't have insurance. And that's really crucial to the mission of what we're here to represent in healthcare, because access to care is one of the things, especially in a rural community like Chautauqua County, that's really lacking. And I've seen, because I've been with the agency so long, I've seen things really shift and change throughout the years. Access to care used to be even worse than it is now. It's really improved quite a bit. But when we started out providing services, we actually started out with dental services about 25 years ago. And that was to meet a need among the disabled.
Right.
And then we quickly realized we needed to open primary medical services as well. So we did that roughly 20 or so years ago. And then it just started expanding. And then we began serving the general public because we saw a huge need out there. It's very hard to recruit, retain medical professionals in this county.
Absolutely.
And so we were very, very committed to doing that.
Let me ask you a question, and and anybody can comment as we go along on this, so please don't, it's just not for Steve. But this is the year 2020, and I still believe that most people don't realize the percentage of individuals that live anywhere, but especially in our county, that have a disability. And when we say disability, what kind of disabilities are we talking about? Because people don't realize there's a lot of different types of disabilities, and because of that disability, the medical attention that individual may need is kind of like customized sometimes. So what are we talking here?
Yeah, you're right. The medical care, whether it's occupational therapy, behavioral health, can be very complex and very unique to that population. But again, even individuals without disabilities have very unique needs. Everybody's different.
Right.
And it's our goal to provide health services and health-related services to everybody in the county. That's what we would love to do. We want to make sure that they have access to care no matter what their means of payment are, transportation, et cetera. So we're trying to remove those barriers.
Okay. Lisa, what's the, in your role, what's the barrier for people, clients, to get to your services?
Well, fear is number
Fear?
one in dental.
I wouldn't have thought of that. Okay. Why?
Have you been to your regular?
Oh yeah, I get text messages from my dentist.
We also send texts, but 60% of adults are scared to go to the dentist. So I would say fear is the number one stigma with dental.
Is it fear because of embarrassment that they're going to get yelled at, or of the pain that they're going to feel excruciating pain that's not really true?
I think it's old habits and family ideas about dental, and February is actually National Children's Dental Health Month. So instilling good oral health care at an early age is critical, to developing those good oral care habits. And so we recommend when your child has teeth, bring them in to get them checked. And the first visit is fun, educational. Our providers are compassionate, caring, and we just try to take the fear out of that.
How many dentists do you have?
We have 4.
You have 4 dentists? I mean, that's like unheard of. I mean, most communities are trying to find one. How many doctors? Primary doctors?
Have 2 doctors.
2 doctors. All right, and that's still pretty amazing because it's hard to find these
Right.
folks.
One of the nice things, though, and I'm going to not hog the show here,
Well,
but I
trust
have a
me,
lot to
that's my
say
job.
after
You won't
38
be
years.
organized.
We are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the local medical practices are kind of being absorbed into a larger
Yes, it is.
facility,
yeah.
and we are smaller. So when you come to the community health center for primary medical care, first of all, you're going to see a physician, which is important. And second of all, you're going to be treated like family. We really get to know you very well. You come in, we have fun with our patients. I mean, we get to know them very well. We know their dogs' names. You were talking about your dog earlier.
Brody.
You know, we know their families' names, and we really care a lot about the patients. Our physicians are board certified. They are top-notch. Dr. Adnan Munir is a family practice physician, and Dr. Mumtaz Karimi is an internal medicine physician. And they've been with the agency at least 15 years.
Wow. So, right now, I think I need to make a statement, all right? And here's my statement, and I'm going to look at the camera when I say this. So, we are constantly trying to break down myths in the county through this show. We're trying to talk about the cool things in Chautauqua County. So here's the myth that I'm going to bust, all right? The Resource Center is for everybody. How's that?
Love
It's
it.
not just for the way it used to be, all right? And so if we look at it as a community and their health, everybody's included. And although maybe the Resource Center initially started with individual disability, you've moved into a larger health model for the community.
Absolutely.
You may quote me on that.
We may.
That's what I'm hearing. Is that
Yes.
what the gist here?
Yes.
All right.
That
So
was, if you
your
don't
hand
mind-
keeps going
Yeah,
up and
well-
down. I got to get to Dan.
Well, no, it's, I mean, I'm the newbie, I guess, to the group.
No,
but
please do.
That's one of the reasons I was drawn to this job. So I've been in healthcare in the area for 24 years now. Started out working for a managed care company. I've actually worked for the hospital. But along that time, and I'm a lifelong resident of Chautauqua County and Jamestown too, but the Resource Center has actually kind of always been there for that, you know, as a safety net provider. When, you know, Steve mentioned about the primary care access issue that's gotten better over time. The Resource Center is always focused on taking care of that population, which is fantastic. You know, so they've always focused on access. And this team I work with is fantastic. And I've got 14 providers within the 3 specialties that I oversee. And real blessed to have them. They're just great people. You know, just the short time, I just enjoy sitting there listening to them work with the patients on a daily basis. So it's
You know,
pretty.
and I'm sitting here in awe because I'll tell you why I'm sitting in awe is because I was, well, at one time I was a superintendent, but I also was a regional administrator for BOCES in the southern tier, and it covered Jamestown, the whole area. And to try to find an OT, PT, a speech person, a doctor, find someone to send the kids to a dentist, it didn't exist, it seemed, and it was really difficult. So that's, congratulations to your organization to put that together and keep them. You know, anybody can hire someone, but to keep them, it must be, you're doing something right. That's great. All right, Nicole, you're sitting there very quietly. So let's talk a little bit about behavioral health. That was actually my second degree in college was learning behavioral disorders and so forth. So you piqued my interest because I worked with that population for quite a long time, and it seems like it's never ending. Define behavioral health. What do you mean by that?
When we talk about behavioral health, there's a wide variety of things that we address. So whether it's mental health concerns or your substance use issues, we can really work with anyone that's having mental health concerns at any stage of their life.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna stop you
yep.
there. Define mental health. What do we mean by that? I mean, everybody understands you break it out. If you have to go to occupational therapy, you work with bones and muscles. If you go to the doctor, you go to the dentist. But this mental health thing is always this kind of thinly veiled thing that nobody talks about. You know, it's those people. You know, so let's talk a little bit about that.
So when we talk about mental health, it can really be a wide variety of things. So I think that's where sometimes the confusion comes in, right? Because it could be things such as I'm just having difficulty at this stage in my life with
Temporary.
changes.
Yep.
Yep. Or it could be something that's ongoing, so that we need to address ongoing for a lengthy amount of time. The way that we're set up at the Community Health Center allows us to help you no matter what stage you're in. So if it's you need outpatient counseling to come in once a week, once every couple months, we can assist you with that, as well as psychiatric needs. But then we have step downs, such as our Article 28 clinic, where it's med only. And then we have increased levels of care, such as our PROS program, where it steps up to a day program, and you can have increased mental health services. And then also they push into employment services and services in the community. So we actually go out into the community and work with folks that might be having crises out in the community. We don't offer crisis services, 24-hour crisis. That we do that through mobile crisis in the county, but we provide a lot of those community supports as well. Peer services, we also have that available too.
Lisa mentioned that people fear going to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
What's the roadblock to your services?
Stigma. I mean, there's definitely a stigma with mental health, and a lot of people have a fear of saying that they maybe have depression or anxiety or are struggling at this stage in their life. You know, coming in and just voicing that is, you know, it takes a lot for someone to just say, I might be struggling a little bit right now. So we want to be here for anyone in the community that is struggling and would need our support.
Do you see a rise in the need to provide services?
Yeah, definitely. They say 1 in 4 Americans suffer with mental health. So if you look at that at this table, if it's 1 in 4, you know, it's just to put a
Yeah. And I sort of was getting at it earlier with Steve, that I don't remember the statistics. I used to teach this stuff, but I can't remember. But I want to say 1 in 10 maybe babies that are born have some type of disability, whether it's a hearing, speech, vision, even if it's very limited. Everybody thinks we're all perfect, and we're not. I mean, we all have little issues, and you know, you said you went back 38 years. How about labeling stigmas back then? It was horrible.
It was.
You know, you didn't want to say that your child was retarded. We changed it to a child with mental retardation, or my child is not cerebral palsy. My child has cerebral palsy. So we've changed the way we talk about things because we forget about the individual. We focused on the disability, and you know, so that's interesting. I want to go back to Dan for a minute. OTPT speech. We didn't really define OTPT. I know what that means, but my viewers and listeners may not know.
Well, yeah, and it's different. You know, PT is more full body. OT concentrates more on fine motor skills. You know, upper. And it's the neat thing about where I am now. A lot of times in outpatient settings, they act as 2 separate entities. You know, the PT is kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but the best way for me to explain it is my crew works as a team.
Yes.
We actually have weekly clinician meetings where they talk about patients, what's working, what's not working. You know, if you've been working with someone and you've gained some success, you know, what happened, how did you approach that? And it's really kind of neat to see the difference. So it's really, you know, kind of back to Steve's point, across the different service lines, it's kind of a holistic, we treat the whole patient, but just seeing that work within the team like that, you know, it's there's no borders. It's kind of exciting, honestly. So. You
know, years ago, I sat on a commission. These guys always laugh at me because I've been involved with a lot of different things in the county. But with Mark Thomas, when we were meeting at Chautauqua, and we're talking about the county charter and stuff like that, and I can't remember how long ago, it was 20 years ago maybe. This all makes sense here in a minute. And the whole thing he was attempting to do in government was to get everybody out of their silos, okay? And I've seen this now when I've interviewed people, more and more and more people got it. They figured it out. I can't treat a patient over here. I mean, if they have a dental issue, but they realize that that's causing them immediate, unbelievable stress, you know, then you go over to you. And the reason why they have stress is, and then maybe it's a medical issue that goes beyond the, so I mean, if you work across with a patient, you're looking at all parts of them, not just your little thing and say, it's not my problem, you know.
Right.
So that's great. I have a caller that's already called in. I neglected to tell you, there's a call-in show. I mentioned it, but I forgot to tell you about it. So we have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Well, good morning, Jack. This is Linda Spalding. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Lisa. Nicole.
Good morning.
Dan.
Did you write everybody's names down?
I'm surprised to see anybody in this morning with the weather we've had.
Oh, come on! We're Chautauquans here. We're tough.
Did you come on a snowmobile or a sleigh? It's great to see you from the Resource Center. You do wonderful work. I refer
Did
a
you
lot
pay
of
her to
people
say this? Wait a minute, Linda.
I refer people to you, and I've gotten referrals from you.
Tell Jimi Hendrix to leave the room.
I want you to go into. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blast your ears this morning. I'm sorry.
I'm the only one because I have an earpiece. Everybody else was all right.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Did I destroy your eardrum? I hope not.
It's okay. So, anyways, what were you saying? You refer people both ways?
I refer people to you at the Resource Center, and I get referrals from you, and you do wonderful work. It's just, we're so fortunate to have your agency with us in our county, and with all the wonderful work you do.
Linda, I know who you are, but they may not know what you do. So why don't you identify your services?
I'm Linda Spalding from the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging, and I administer and operate the Senior Employment Program.
So what kind of folks would you be referring to them now?
I refer for positions for job
Okay.
openings.
Mm-hmm.
I work with people for training and jobs, and I do get referrals. People from the Resource Center, I know quite a few people who have worked there through the years, and they have sent people to me to help your candidates find jobs.
Super. So we were just talking about silos. I mean, here we got county services working with the agency services, and everybody's working together. And that's the beauty of Chautauqua County. And I like to bang that drum all the time. Everybody's working together. I mean, you know, we look at right now around the country, and it seems like everybody's like in their own camp, but we're different here. We're together, right? We're going to stay that way.
Right. And the fact that you handle the dental situation and the mental health program, that is really very needed everywhere and here, and
Yeah.
I see very positive results.
Super.
Thank
All
you
right.
for that feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So what are you doing for Valentine's Day? You going to go down to the park and dance up a storm?
Oh, I always go there for the ice castle. This is something that I look forward to, and I love going to the different vendors, and especially the food vendors, because one nice thing is you don't have to worry about flies getting on your food.
There you have it. For those who are listening around the world, come to Chautauqua County because we're flyless.
Yeah, the winter time.
Florida, you keep your old bugs down there. Oh, too funny. Okay, Lynn, you have a great week and happy Valentine's Day to you.
I wish you a wonderful weekend and a great week. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks a lot.
That's funny.
Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. I mean, it's all working together here. And I mean that in all seriousness. My dealings with folks on the show here and in my professional and personal life, I see this all the time. People are out of their silos more and more and more and more. And, you know, because it was too easy to say it's not my problem and or not my backyard. I don't hear that a lot here. So that's really good.
We have a lot of formal and informal partnerships, you know, and it goes both ways. We make a lot of referrals, we accept a lot of referrals, but one of the great partnerships that I kind of want to talk about a little bit this morning is the partnership we have with Jamestown Public Schools. I briefly mentioned that we have school-based health services, but it deserves more than a brief comment. We offer primary medical services there. I have a practitioner there, Deb Petrowski. She's a nurse practitioner. We have dental services. We have behavioral health services. And we've been there for about 15 years. And it's really a fantastic program for Jamestown High School students. They can get their medical care, dental care, behavioral health services right there on the high school campus. And it's a little-known service, but let me tell you, when parents are using that service, they think it's the best thing in the world.
Oh, well, I guess so. I'm sitting here thinking about all the time I wouldn't be taking my kid out of school to get
Exactly.
services. What a great model.
Yeah.
Who came up with this idea?
It's a statewide, nationwide model, actually. And we had interest expressed by the school district years ago. And we partnered up with them. And
Okay.
as I said, it's just been absolutely fantastic. We have great relationships with the school. We're actually considering expansion to other locations because
Nice.
there are high-need schools. You have to prove need.
Mhm.
There are other high-need schools in the district that we'd like to service, so we're taking a look at it.
All right. So, Lisa, let me go back to you for the dental services. So, Steve mentioned that there's dental services in the Jamestown School. Now, is it just in one building, or is it throughout the buildings? How's that work?
It's in Jamestown High School.
Oh, at the high school. So, if you have an elementary student, do they come up there, or it's not?
Not at
offered
this
to-
point, no.
Just the
No,
high
Lisa,
school?
Lisa's providing the dental, Nicole is providing behavioral health services, not only at the high school, but.
Also at the Success Academy.
Okay.
We also have a satellite clinic at the Success Academy where we provide mental health services.
All right, so I'm watching 4 people that are like Indian chiefs. And so how do you like coordinate space and time and all that stuff when you're in the school? I mean, I'm thinking about this. So you have dedicated suite of offices?
We do.
Cool.
It's an actual clinic.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So
Yeah.
it's more than just a room. It's,
No, we have an array of rooms
so who
there.
paid for all that?
It's kind of a shared cost. The school provides in-kind space. We provide staff. Actually, the nurse practitioner works for the district, and we have a partnership there with her. And Nicole's situation is slightly different. She's down in a different location.
Yeah. So we have a different office within Jamestown High School, and then we have an additional office at the Success Academy where we provide those mental health services.
And Dan, are your services there as well?
They're not at this point,
Okay,
but.
but it probably per need. I mean,
Yeah, and we have plenty of capacity too, so, working as a team outside of the silos, if they have someone that could benefit from that, they could easily refer to any of my providers for services.
okay, so this is what I do a lot of times. So I look at the camera and I say, any superintendent that's watching right now, if you want this service at your school, contact them at what number?
Well,
I'm doing an ad for you. Steve on the other side, go, Doc, go. No, seriously, because this is probably not necessarily a well-known fact. So if they're interested, how would they get a hold of you guys?
well, you can call me directly at my office if you want to talk about services, which is 485-2670. That is not the number for the clinic, but that's my personal number. So if there are any superintendents out there, we'd be happy to sit down and chat with you.
485-2670.
70.
Okay. See how I did that? I repeated it so they, get a little extra in there.
Thank you.
We have some pictures that I want to share in a minute, but I want to go back to the term nurse practitioner. Who had that term? Somebody
I
said
did.
that. All right, so define nurse practitioner. That may not be common to a lot of people.
Well, a nurse practitioner is a nurse who goes on for additional education so that they can actually prescribe medications, diagnose illness, and provide treatment, much like a physician.
Okay, very good. So, and you have physician's assistants, you have nurse practitioner. I'm not saying you do, but I mean, those are different titles that sometimes people hear. So that,
Right.
a nurse practitioner sounds similar to like a physician's assistant, sort of, maybe?
Right.
In that general
The
area?
nurse practitioner can actually practice independently, whereas a physician assistant does require
Under a
a
doctor's-
supervisory relationship. Correct.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's look at some of those pictures. I'm not sure what order they're in, so we'll just pop them up. Whoever's picture it is, they can talk to it. How's that? All right.
This is dental care.
Ta-ta-ta.
Yes.
Okay, Lisa, take it
It's
away.
Dr. John Vona at our Dunkirk Dental Clinic, and Gladys Alverio, dental assistant. And the Dunkirk Clinic is at Lakeshore Drive.
And I'm assuming it's a full-service dentist office?
Yes, it is.
They do like x-rays and fillings and caps and crowns and all that-
Everything.
Everything.
Yes, full service, family care.
And this is located where now?
Lakeshore Drive.
Okay, on Route 5 in the big building. So if somebody was interested in going to that service, how do they do it? Do they contact somebody? How do you get an appointment?
You can call.
Yeah, what's the number there?
You can actually call our main line, 661-1447, and you can reach any of our clinics that way. Also, resourcecenter.org. You can make an appointment online there.
Really? That's pretty cool. 661-1447.
Yes.
That's like a one-stop shop. In you go. All right. All right. Next picture. Still yours?
This
All
is
right,
our
Lisa.
Jamestown Dental Clinic.
All right, here's the other
All
side.
dental.
All right. Looks really very Nice.
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Also in the dental clinic, we have the Hoyer lift, and this helps patients who are in wheelchairs or who may have trouble getting into the dental chair.
Okay, Jeff, leave that up there. Okay, keep going.
So
The Hoyer lift.
It's the Hoyer lift.
All right.
Yes.
And this is why. Okay, this is why I stop here, because we got to remember we got people listening on the radio. So I want to describe this. So this is a dentist chair that looks sort of like a lounge chair, and there over it is a frame that has like what do you call that? Thank you, Jeff. A sling. They help me out. And obviously, if you're in a wheelchair or any person that has any sort of ambulatory problem, they could be lifted with this. And you see these in pools, right? Hoyer lifts. Okay.
But this is very unique.
I've never seen it. I
Most
saw this
dental
picture
clinics
earlier,
don't
and I
have
thought,
this.
what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
All right, now I can see it in larger form. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that kind of tricky to use?
No,
No.
No.
No big deal.
not at all.
All right. That's probably, people enjoy that, I bet, a little bit. All right. So, you just have one Hoyer lift, or is that both ends of the county?
We just have the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's not that big of a county, so if you needed that particular service, where's this one located?
Jamestown.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Next.
This is Dr. Adnan Munir with one of his patients who has given us permission to show her picture.
And they're smiling.
They are smiling, and
Okay.
we are smiling a lot
Okay.
throughout the day. As I said, Dr. Munir is our family practice physician.
So he's a generalist?
Yes.
And so
guess
he
you could
would
call it that.
refer you to a specialist from there?
Correct.
So he's like your primary doctor?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Next.
And that's me.
It's still you. Okay. This looks like a typical.
This is one of our treatment rooms. And this is in one of the sections of the building. One of the things we didn't talk about, we just went through a 4-phase renovation project. Actually, we're at the tail end of it.
Oh, joy.
Oh, joy. Yeah.
joy. I
It
know
has
those
been.
feelings.
It's been fantastic. We renovated the external facade of the building. We renovated the dental. You can see the beautiful dental offices
very
with
nice.
all the new dental chairs there. Dental just underwent another renovation to add some additional operatories. And primary care, we underwent during the first or the second phase, I think it was, we updated all of the treatment rooms on one side of the building, and now we're undergoing an update on the other side of the building.
Nice. Very nice. And for those that are listening, this looks like a very modern, very bright, cheery. I like the earth tones. It makes you feel relaxed when you look at it.
Right.
Very, very nice. Okay, next picture.
That's me.
Yes,
yeah.
there you go. Okay. What do we have here?
This is Lori Fenton. She is our nurse practitioner in mental health. She's our psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
Ooh, that's a specialty, isn't it?
It is. And we offer that service both in the Jamestown and the Dunkirk locations.
Okay, so she's sitting at a desk and she has a computer in front of her, a laptop. So what's going on here?
So she's typically during a psychiatric appointment, you're consulting with the patient on needs regarding medication.
Oh, okay.
And she would be prescribing medication for mental health concerns.
Earlier you mentioned, I don't want to say this wrong, telepsychiatric services?
Telepsychiatry.
Ooh, tell us a little bit about that. I've not heard that term. I've heard telemedicine, but I've never heard of telepsychiatry.
Yeah, so we have telepsychiatry both in our outpatient clinic as well as in our PROS program, both in the Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. The individuals that we see come to the clinic and they're able to meet with a psychiatrist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner over the computer, basically, so online. So they are able to have their consultation even if the psychiatric provider isn't able to be on site in the clinic.
We mentioned all these services so far, and the fact that you've been able to supply professionals in that area. I think psychiatric services is probably the most difficult, I'm guessing, to get in the county, just from my experience, and to be able to do it this way probably is a really ingenious way to do business.
Yes, it allows people to still have that link with a psychiatric provider and get the medications that they are in need of.
Okay, I'm gonna push it a little harder in this field
Okay.
right now. So if people are watching or listening right now going like, so what do I do? Sit in a room by myself and I talk to this screen? How's that work?
Nope. So a nurse checks you in and goes over your vitals and then is in the room with you while you are meeting with the nurse practitioner. So you still have that patient-centered approach with someone with you.
All right.
If you would like privacy, though, that nurse can step out, so you can just be with the practitioner.
All right, so somebody walks you through this whole process and they're right
Yep.
there for you.
Yep.
And in my case, it would be having trouble with the remote control.
Yeah, so everything's set up prior to you even
Don't
going
push
in.
that button!
Yeah, everything's set up prior to you even going in, so you really don't have to push any buttons.
Okay.
You really are just talking to the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, where's the privacy as far as, you know, we talk all about technology these days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are these secure sites? Are these, is it being videotaped? I mean, what goes on?
No, it's not videotaped whatsoever, and everything that we use is regulated by HIPAA and approved by the Office of Mental Health.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
they've come and reviewed our sites and the equipment that we
Policies and
use.
procedures?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. All right, let's keep going. We've only got, believe it or not, we're under 3 minutes. So what's our next picture, Jeff? All right.
That's Dennis Bergman out at our Lakeshore location, meeting with a client. He's one of our mental health clinicians.
Okay. And again, this is for anybody?
Anyone.
Regardless if you have a disability or not a disability, right? Anybody. It's a
correct.
community concept.
Correct.
All right, keep going. Whoa, that's a whole bunch of people there. Who's this?
Oh, you have to
This
name all
is-
of them?
This is the Community Health Center.
That's everybody?
Yes,
Both
well,
ends?
this is primarily our Jamestown location.
Okay, I'm looking for Steve. I don't see Steve. Are you in this
Having
one?
It's a little blurry.
Oh, boy. Okay, so you have a nice big crew of folks that are working here. Okay, so let's, okay, thank you. I want to get back to Dan for a minute.
Oh.
Okay, so OTPT services,
Yeah.
what would bring somebody to those services?
Well, and speech as well.
Oh, and
actually.
speech as
Yeah.
well.
Actually, it could be a variety of things. It could be a restorative issue, so you have orthopedic surgery, knee replacement, shoulder surgery, so it could be for the initial rehab to get you back to normal activities.
Okay, post-surgery.
It could be for functional issues you're having, like with the OT, more of the motor skills and just kind of, and it could be maintenance. So a lot of the patients that we see, just trying to keep them where they're at. So that, which, at first it was kind of a weird concept because you're thinking we get them back to, but that might be their normal activity. You just don't want them to regress. And so some of the activities are just maintenance-based activities.
Super.
So.
And for speech, what would bring somebody?
It could be everything. We have, the age ranges. I know my son when he was younger. And he comes in and had some difficulty with the things, and so I'm still learning that specialty, to be honest with you. But the practitioners we have are fantastic, and amazing actually with the outcomes and the way they handle the patients. It's pretty neat. So still learning on that one, but.
Okay, we were down to a minute. Lisa, final words for the dentist area, dental, anything?
We accept Medicaid and many insurances. We also provide a sliding fee scale. We understand that not everyone has access to insurance. So sliding fee scale, you bring in proof of income, and you qualify for discounted dental services.
Okay, super.
And that's for all the services.
Okay. Steve, since you were voted in
Yeah.
as the head speaker, you got the last 30 seconds here.
She talks about insurance. We actually have an on-site insurance navigator.
Oh, perfect.
Partnership with
Nice.
Healthy Community Alliance that we have, which is fantastic. But I just want to encourage everybody who doesn't have a physician to give us a call at 661-1447. Anybody who doesn't have a dentist, if you need mental health services, speech, OT, we actually also have podiatry services. Dan didn't mention, he's being
I'm
humble
sorry.
over there.
Yeah.
He's got a wide array that he's dealing
Head to
with.
toe.
But these are comprehensive, co-located, and really high-quality services.
Okay. See, I did the same thing. You're not alone. All right, see, I popped off. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests today have been Steve, Lisa, Nicole, and Dan from the Resource Center. If you are interested in any of their services, one more time, 661-1447. I'm signing off. Have a great Valentine's Day week. And I like chocolate with nuts. Thank you. All right, so take care, and we'll see you all next Saturday right here on Access Chautauqua 1301. Take care now. Drive safe. How was that? That wasn't so bad.
It's great.